Narrator. The friends had barely escaped the mansion's grotesque clutches, their hearts pounding and throbbing uncontrollably with the visceral echoes of terror that had just previously consumed them. Beads of cold sweat trickled down their foreheads, wetting their pale, petrified faces. The exact moments of their escape were a blur, filled with screaming echoes and strident thumps. The screams were not just their own. The mansion seemed to echo and mutter, with its own share of shrieks and cries, as if it too was recoiling from the uninvited guests. The magnitude and enormity of their fear were not just due to the horrifying entities they had encountered inside, but also the chilling aura that the mansion imbued. Its ghoulish vibe seemed to seep out from its crumbling walls, wrapping around them like a cold, haunting mist. This was a place where happiness and joy were swallowed whole by the pervasive gloom, where the creaking floorboards and cracked paint whispered untold stories of despair. Each one of them had a unique horror etched into their minds, a personal nightmare that had sprung to life within the mansion's dark halls. For some it was a spectral figure, for others, a gut-wrenching memory or a fear they thought they had long buried. Their hearts pounded, a frantic metronome ticking away the seconds of their survival. But as they slowly moved away from the mansion, they couldn't shake off the feeling of dread. Something was eerily amiss. As they turned to look back, the mansion stood there, its shadowy silhouette looming ominously against the dark night sky. They realized with a sinking feeling the depth of their naivety. Their ordeal was far from over. Narrator. In the fading light, Alex's trembling hand held the photograph they had discovered. As the shadows of the evening stretched out, the world around him seemed to fall silent. His gaze was fixed, and the world was reduced to this small rectangular piece of glossy paper. A photograph that was meant to preserve pleasant memories was now a source of an unspeakable terror. The image captured a moment in time, a moment that was meant to be locked away forever. A family that was once a unit of 5, but now seemed to have embraced an unwelcome 6th member. The picture was ordinary, yet its ordinariness what made it so eerie. There was a mother, a father, 3 children. They were all dressed in their Sunday best, smiles on their faces, eyes reflecting joy. The usual, but there, right there, stood an unfamiliar figure, a figure which had no business being there. An extra face. Chills ran down his spine as he took a closer look. The face was blurred, but it was there, a phantom amidst the cheerful faces. It was as if the photograph was bleeding this new presence into reality. His heart pounded in his chest, the sound echoing in his ears louder than a drum. The room began to spin around him, his vision blurred at the edges. He squinted, trying to make out the details. The 6th figure was faint, barely visible, yet it was there. Its face, a countenance that was unfamiliar, yet it filled him with a sense of dread. A cold shiver ran down his spine as he met the gaze of the intruder in the picture. The eyes of the figure stared back, hauntingly familiar, their gaze piercing through the glossy paper, through his soul, and into his deepest fears. Their blood turned cold as they noticed the horrifying truth. The family in the picture, once 5, was now 6. A new face looked back at them, its eyes filled with a chilling familiarity. Narrator. As they exchanged terrified glances, the mansion stood ominously in the background, its silhouette dark against the midnight sky. The old manor, once a symbol of grandeur, had now become a monument of horror. The friends could feel the chilling aura permeating from its ancient stone walls. Its very existence seemed to radiate a sense of foreboding. The mansion, nestled deep in the heart of the woods, appeared like an unwelcome guest that overstayed its welcome. Its gargoyle statues stared down at them, their stone eyes seeming to follow their every move. The group could almost hear the whispers of the forgotten souls that once inhabited its rooms, their silent pleas echoing in the cold night air. They could see the lights of the mansion flickering, casting eerie shadows that danced around with the wind. It was as though the house was taunting them, its lights glowing like the eyes of a predator, watching, waiting. They felt the weight of the mansion's history, the secrets it held, and the darkness that lurked within its walls. It seemed as though the mansion was alive, its every creak and groan a reminder of their failed attempt to escape. Each flicker of light was a cruel mockery, a laughter at their fear and despair. As they moved further away, the glow of the mansion seemed to follow them, casting long and ominous shadows. The friends had left the mansion, but had the mansion left them? Narrator? Somewhere in the distance, a door creaked open, a sound so seemingly insignificant in the vastness of silence, but it echoed through the empty corridors, bouncing off the cold stone walls. The noise was amplified by emptiness, its resonance a harbinger of that which was to come. It was a sound that seemed to transcend the ordinary, a sound that spoke of old, musty hallways, dust-laden air soaked in the scent of decaying wood, and secrets too long kept forgotten. Everything held its breath. Even the distant murmur of wind outside seemed to hush, as if paying homage to the solitary sound. The echoes were a symphony of the forgotten, a lullaby woven with the threads of desolation. Every reverberation seemingly whispered tales of long-gone times, stories of lost souls and broken promises, resonating in the vast expanse of the building. Each echo bore a chilling reminder of the past, a haunting melody that told tales of sorrow and despair, of doors once flung open which now refused to yield. This wasn't just a sound, it was a memory, a ghost, a vivid reminder of the fragility of time. The echo was more than just an auditory stimulus. It was a tangible, touchable connection to the days of yore, an invisible thread that bound the past to the present. It was raw evidence of the passage of time, a physical manifestation of the cycle of life and death. Each echo was a chilling testament of a reality we often tend to forget. Doors once opened refused to be closed. Like the echoes that refused to die, the doors refused to close, symbolizing the eternal struggle between the past and the future. Narrator. And so, their story remains unfinished, steeped in mystery and intrigue. It is a tale that echoes through time, sending chills down the spine of anyone who dares to listen. A tale of a house, an old, towering structure standing solitary amidst swirling mists and barren landscapes. Its dark silhouette, a stark contrast against the otherwise mundane backdrop, only adds to the sense of foreboding that surrounds it. This isn't just any house, it's a haunted house. A haunted house with a history as chilling as its cold, drafty hallways. Empty rooms hide secrets within their shadowed corners, and the creaking floorboards hold stories of the past. Ghostly echoes reverberate through the silence, a testament to the desolation that has claimed this once thriving abode. Whispers of spectral figures, of objects moving on their own, of the eerie laughter that pierces the silence of the night. These are the things that lend credibility to the house's haunted reputation. And the chilling factor? Most of these happenings occur unseen. The unseen, as we know, can often be the most terrifying. It is the fear of the unknown, the fear of what lurks in the darkness that truly terrifies. What is it about the unseen that sends shivers down our spine? Is it the anticipation, the suspense, or simply the primal fear of the unknown? Because remember, the unseen is often the most terrifying.